I'm Eric Novak, and beside me is the 2018 Nissan Leaf all-electric vehicle. It is the second generation Leaf. The Leaf is the world's best-selling all-electric vehicle, and in this second generation there have been a number of improvements made, most notably a greater range than it ever had before. Its published official range is 240 kilometers on the current iteration, and of course the exact range can vary depending upon a host of factors, the way you drive, where you drive, the weather and such. And as it is right now, as it's in the height of summer, I've been plugging in and getting a much higher estimated range, as I just did right now, of almost 300 kilometers to go. Now I'm curious to see just really with that kind of a range, since I often talk about how electric vehicles are really just regular cars now. There's really almost no sacrificing. I was curious to see just what I could do on the full range, and just what I could see in terms of sightseeing and getting out and about. So today it's a long holiday weekend here in Canada. It's the August long weekend. So I thought what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take my kids out. We're going to go for a drive. We're going to test the range of this and see some sights. Okay, so we're all in the car. I've got my kids in with me, and I'm just going to take a look at where we have to start with. It shows that I have 294 kilometers of range. I'm just going to use my other camera to verify that. Now that is with the windows down and the air conditioning off. I'm just going to turn on the AC, to be honest, and see how it drops. And now I'm down to 272 kilometers. I'm going to use the AC because it's a brutally hot day here. It's forecasted highs of 33 Celsius. That would be in the 90s in Fahrenheit. But we've got 272 kilometers of air-conditioned range. Let's see where we can get to. For our fun little day trip journey range test, I decided to head eastward towards Northumberland County, with our first stop being the picturesque town of Port Hope. Located on the shores of Lake Ontario and at the mouth of the Ganaraska River, this tourist-friendly town has great places to visit with lots of interesting shops and restaurants. Plus, it was the backdrop for much of the 2017 version of the Stephen King thriller It. Now, while I've yet to see the film myself, my eldest had, and given that, we decided to look around for locations found in the movie.
What is it, Dad?
No, it was just in the movie then. It was in the movie, okay.
What does it play in movies or live?
No, live events. But also Pennywise is somewhere around here. While we could have spent more time in Port Hope, this road trip was also a range test, so we had to keep going. From Port Hope, we continued east to the nearby town of Cobourg. Now, similar in size and scenery to Port Hope, the big differentiator for Cobourg is its beach. Cobourg Beach is popular with the people from the eastern part of the Greater Toronto Area, given that it's only about an hour's drive away. But on this particular weekend, their annual sandcastle contest was taking place, and combined with the fact that it was a long weekend and high temperatures were in the forecast, Cobourg Beach was absolutely packed to the brim. Quite the sea of humanity here in Cobourg Beach. It's crazy. But that's what you do on a road trip. Okay, status report. We have done some driving already. We've been through Northumberland County. We stopped at Port Hope, the town where they filmed It. We looked for Pennywise, and now we spent some time at a ridiculously crazy Cobourg Beach. We've seen the sandcastles, and right now, so we've driven basically 75 kilometers. You can take a look at that, and I still got 197 kilometers of range left, or about 70%. So we've seen a lot, and we've only used up about 30%, so we're doing pretty well. Let's keep seeing some more stuff. Okay, so we're leaving Cobourg. We have a little rest stop here because we're heading up to Rice Lake next, a bit of drive, but because we're all hot, we needed a little triple thick refreshment, right? Cheers! Our Nissan Leaf range testing day trip continued from Cobourg as we headed north for about a half hour to the southern part of Rice Lake and the small community of Gores Landing. We're at Gores Landing at Rice Lake. Let's see. I've never been here before, but that's what we're doing. We're touring and looking around. Rice Lake is popular with cottagers as well as those looking to get away, as many smaller resorts can be found all across its shoreline. Its proximity to Toronto also makes it a popular spot for day trippers like us as well. This place is never been here before. This is Rice Lake, and I guess this is a new gazebo kind of thing. Taking a look at this way. The kids were enjoying themselves and will likely need to return sometime, but there was a purpose to this trip and we had to keep going.
Just visited Rice Lake. We've been basically 100 kilometers, 98.6, and 146 to go, 57%. We're doing well. We'll make it home probably no problem. Back into Durham region, guys.
From Gores Landing, we now began our homeward bound part of the journey. But given the fact that the Nissan Leaf is designed to be part of a sustainable future, I decided to make one last stop with the kids to check out the wind turbines at the Ganaraska Wind Farm project located in the town of Orono. Now, these turbines have the capacity to generate 17.6 megawatts of power, which is enough to provide electricity to 6,000 homes. After the last stop, the kids are getting tired, so it was pretty much a straight and uneventful ride back home to conclude our range test and day trip in the 2018 Nissan Leaf.
So we made it back. We basically traveled today about 180 kilometers or so, and according to the range, we still had about 55 kilometers, about 19% left, I think it said, which basically, if the posted range on the website is 240 kilometers of estimated range, given the fact that we drove on a variety of terrain, there was a lot of up and downs on our drive back, really hot and humid today, so we had the AC on, we had a full car of 5 people, knowing that in the testing protocol, the 5-stage testing, it's, while a better system than it used to be, it's still under ideal situations, so what we did here totally proved that this thing can at least go 240 kilometers and quite likely longer. So I guess the whole point of the fact is there really is no sacrifice when it comes to driving an electric vehicle anymore, because as you saw today, we were able to do a whole lot of things. We were gone about 5 hours. We went to 2 or 3 towns. We saw Lake Ontario. We saw Rice Lake. We had a full day of great sightseeing and a lot of fun with the family on a long weekend, a beautiful hot day in August. So if you have any misconceptions about electric vehicles, you're going to have to sacrifice many of the things you want. By and large, I think this proves that you really don't. These vehicles are mainstream nowadays. I had a lot of fun with my kids enjoying the part of Ontario that we visited today, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with us. But that's it for now. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching.
There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.